Welcome back to Nelson Radio, heard on KTLK AM 1150. Phil Immel is co-hosting with me from Prudential California Realty. My name is Nelson, and we have a great guest coming up, and one that I love the inside story, if you will, in terms of just the journey traveled in bringing a development as magnificent as the Strand to the marketplace. And certainly those not involved in real estate think it's just that simple task.
Well, let me comment on Sam. Oh, you're going to...
Well, I was just going to say, it's a simple process, right?
Yeah. Well,
just a little subdivision map and a little bit of grading, and then all of a sudden you're putting sticks up in the air. Yeah, Sanford's rubbing his head going, oh my gosh, it's not that.
He goes, wrong show. Anyway, Sanford is a master at what he does professionally. He's a great guy, and he's a good dad as well. We know that from Indian Guide days, so we've gone back a bit.
Nice. Yeah, you guys have history. Well, I want to welcome Sanford Edward, the founder and CEO of the Strand at the Headlands. For those of you that haven't seen this magnificent development, it's down in the heart of Orange County, just to the south of the Ritz-Carlton and just to the north of Dana Point Harbor, right here in the city of Dana Point. And it's a fabulous development of custom homes staring out at the ocean. If it was a clear day, Phil, I think I could stand on my tiptoes and see Japan. What do you think?
Well, at least Catalina.
At least Catalina. So, Sanford, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask that question. Developments obviously have their story to tell, but I want to just turn back the clocks and just have you share a little bit about the history in terms of acquiring this magnificent piece of land and then launching the process of getting it approved for development.
Well, I bought the property in 1998, and it was formerly owned by the Chandler family, and that's the family that owned the LA Times before they sold it to the Chicago Tribune. They had owned the property for 60 years, and it was basically a private enclave for their friends from Pasadena.
How big a parcel?
121 acres.
121 acres.
A mile and a half of the coast. And they had fenced off. They had closed down the old trailer park that they used to use for a summer retreat. And they'd spent 20 years trying to get it approved. They finally got a project approved in 97. It got overturned in a referendum in the city of Dana Point by a group called Save the Headlands. And the rallying cry was there was going to be a 500-room hotel that was going to sit on the Headlands landmark. And shortly after Save the Headlands overturned the approvals, 3 of the Save the Headlands members got elected to the city council. And that's when I bought the property.
Nice.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
With that organization, obviously you're dealing with the environmentalists, the Coastal Commission. How long did it take to actually bring the project to where you could actually start your grading and people could actually start putting sticks up in the air?
Well, we got it done in record time. Most projects of this size going through the Coastal Commission take on average 6 to 7 years. And a good friend of mine, an older colleague, Barry Hahn, he did a project on Palos Verdes, which is now the site of the Donald Trump golf course and a hotel site next to it. Took him 11 years to get through the Coastal Commission. We got through the Coastal Commission in 2 years. Now, it took us 3.5 years to get through the city. You'd think typically it'd take you longer to get through the Coastal Commission, but we had a council when I bought the property that wasn't predisposed to cooperate with us.
And the vision for the property, it's changed in that planning, in those various phases of planning. But bring us to where we are today. How many lots? There isn't the 500-room resort like people feared.
Right. The property, when I bought it, was zoned to accommodate 370 homes and 2 500-room hotels. We crafted a plan with input from the community, and we did that after building a public support group,
right,
where I virtually went to every HOA, every Chamber of Commerce, any type of public forum I could get, and I started to elicit the good people in town, not the extremists, to get involved, and a lot of good people in the city of Dana Point did get involved, and our plan never changed. We got it approved for a maximum of 125 custom lots, 1 90-room hotel, a small commercial site on PCH, and then we took the Headlands, which was the big controversial piece. We turned that into a conservation park.
in that conversation park? How many acres? I'm staring back at it just behind you as we do the interview from the Strand Beach Club, just with the Pacific Ocean to our back, the headland peninsula, I guess I'd call that, to our south. But that entire area now is a natural preserve?
Correct. In fact, that actually contains Dana Point, quote unquote. So the geographic landform that's Dana Point, the namesake of the town, is also commonly referred to as the headlands. And the conservation park is about 32 acres. The overall parks and open space in the project is just under 70.
We're listening to Sanford Edward, the founder and CEO of the Strand at the Headlands development. And this project down here in Dana Point, right below the Ritz-Carlton and the Dana Point in Dana Harbor to our south. It is a fabulous piece of real estate, and it's been your vision, your dream for many, many years. Does that get in the way in terms of how you see this property turning out now, or is it evolving to be exactly what you hope for?
Well, I think it unfolds. We made the decision early to save that landform, the headlands. In terms of the actual construction of the homes, we sell people a custom lot, so they go get their own architect. They then have to go through our design review committee. So you can't really, we didn't do a project like the Irvine Company where you're just limited to 2 or 3 styles and everybody has a red tile roof.
Right.
So I didn't have a specific vision per se as to what the homes would look like. But growing up in Los Angeles, I like the fact that the nicer neighborhoods have this vibrancy that's really a byproduct of it being a little more eclectic, as long as the design is good and authentic. I'm very pleased with the way it's turned out, and I've got a ton of positive feedback from the community, particularly as it relates to the parks and the open space, and we built 3 miles of coastal trails. So I'm pleased.
Phil, what's it like for you? You're now representing some of the sellers here and some of the buyers, and for you to come in and bring people, there's certainly a large international presence of people that have been brought to this project. There's also people from around the country, and so in that introduction of the headlands, what's it like from your eyes?
Well, from a realtor's eyes, it's very dynamic. First of all, there's 8, 9, or 10 locations. This is 11 or 12. I mean, you can't carve out a better chunk of land in a more perfect climate zone probably anywhere in the world. And it's 24-hour guard gated, so it gives privacy, security. You've got some great resorts, being the Ritz-Carlton, of course, that we could reach out and touch from here. You've got the St. Regis, the Montage Resort. You have an environment that people worldwide who've been successful want to come and build and design their own home and have a beach home that kind of reminds them of how they grew up,
right?
Maybe, or how they wish they would have grown up, and they can come here and fulfill that dream. And still they're halfway between L.A. and San Diego and John Wayne Airport, so it's great. It's a beautiful community. I think Sanford and his team have done a phenomenal job through thick and thin markets to make this place very special. And, the price range of the lots and the homes they represent that. But when you look worldwide at Manhattan real estate or, go to many countries worldwide, this is a real special place and still actually a great value relative to other locations.
And when you think about 1.5 miles of coastline, that's precious real estate. It simply can't be replaced.
As Will Rogers says, buy land. They ain't making any more of it.
Exactly.
Especially at the Strand.
Sanford Edward, I want to thank you for being on the show, sharing your vision and the dream come true now with people developing these beautiful estate properties. And right here on the beach, it's just a sensational sight when you can stare out at the ocean. Mesmerizing. That's Sanford Edward from the Strand at the Headlands, and we're broadcasting right here from the Strand Beach Club